Have you heard the latest gossip about Stacy Dash? You know, the unforgettable diva from the cult classic Clueless, who made us all wish we could rock plaid skirts and knee-high socks with the same flair she did. Well, brace yourselves, because behind all that sass and style, Stacy has been living a life that's nothing short of a roller coaster ride. To kick things off, let's talk money. Stacy, who's always been outspoken, revealed in a shocking interview that she was spending a hefty amount, anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 a month, on drugs. A pretty jaw-dropping revelation, right? But that's just one piece of the puzzle. Stacy Dash has never been one to shy away from controversy. Her bold opinions and hot takes have often stirred up heated debates. She's never hesitated to share her thoughts on a wide range of topics, from Black History Month to transgender rights. These comments have certainly made waves, but they've also caused a lot of people to scratch their heads. Critics claim that Stacy's habit of voicing such polarizing views, many of them controversial, has hurt her career more than it's helped. They suggest that her behavior might be less about actual beliefs and more about creating drama to gain attention, especially since she's worked with Fox News, where sensationalism often rules. Stacy's move into political commentary didn't go over well with everyone. In fact, the backlash she received for supporting Mitt Romney in 2012 after previously voting for Obama was harsh. Some even accused her of being a sellout. Her comments, particularly about how Obama's presidency didn't benefit Black people, sparked outrage. She went further, criticizing Black history and suggesting that things like Black History Month and channels like BET were doing more harm than good. Her stance on these issues turned her into a lightning rod for criticism, with many questioning whether her shift in views was genuine or just another bid for the spotlight. But Stacy didn't stop there. She turned heads even more with her inflammatory remarks about transgender rights, even going so far as to suggest that transgender people should buddy up with a bush if they're caught in a public restroom. It didn't end with trans issues. She made waves with her comments about feminism, too. Stacy argued that feminists weren't out to empower women, but were instead after men's jobs. Whether you agree with her or not, it's clear that Stacy has always known how to get people talking. Despite all the controversy, Stacy's career took some pretty iconic turns. She began acting in the early 1980s, first appearing in a crime drama called For Real for the People. By 1985, she was gracing The Cosby Show, which led to more prominent roles in TV shows like TV 101. But it was the late 80s and early 90s that really put her on the map. In 1988, she stole scenes in the Richard Pryor comedy Moving, and in the 90s, she became a household name with roles in Money, Renaissance Man, and of course, her unforgettable portrayal of Dionne in Clueless. But Stacy's rise to fame didn't stop with Clueless. The 1990s were just the beginning for her. She parlayed her success into starring roles in various TV shows and films, cementing her status as a rising star in Black Hollywood. In fact, she became a fixture in music videos, gracing the screens of hits like Emotional and All Falls Down. Her beauty and sass made her a favorite in magazines like King, Smooth, and Jet. And in 2006, she even posed nude for Playboy. As the years went on, Stacy continued to build her career, appearing in everything from The Game, 2009, to Single Ladies, 2011. She made quite the impact in Single Ladies, leading the cast and drawing in millions of viewers per episode. But behind the scenes, things were less than rosy. Rumors of tension between Stacy and co-star Lisa Ray McCoy surfaced, with sources claiming that their on-set disagreements went beyond simple bickering, almost leading to physical altercations. Some even said the tension became so bad that the two left passive-aggressive notes on each other's trailers. Drama, anyone? Stacy's exit from Single Ladies was attributed to family reasons, but rumors swirled that it wasn't just about wanting to spend more time with her loved ones. She left the show after just one season, and the reason behind her departure remains a mystery. Around this time, Stacy transitioned into a career as a conservative commentator, making headlines with her outspoken views. She became a regular contributor on Fox News, where her comments on politics and culture continued to raise eyebrows. By 2012, Stacey made a complete 180 from her earlier political alignment, deciding to back Mitt Romney for president. This shift caused an uproar, especially since she had voted for Barack Obama in 2008, believing he would unite the country. In her eyes, Obama's presidency had fallen short, particularly in terms of benefiting Black Americans. This, combined with her controversial statements on Black History Month and race relations, further alienated her from her critics. But Stacey wasn't just making waves with politics. In 2016, when Hollywood was under fire for the lack of diversity in the Oscars nominations, Stacey boldly called the outcry ludicrous. She suggested that if people truly wanted integration, they should do away with Black History Month and even the NAACP Image Awards. Her comments were met with intense backlash, but Stacey, ever the provocateur, didn't back down. Stacey's controversies didn't stop with politics. In interviews, she continued to stir the pot, making inflammatory statements about transgender rights and feminism. Her opinions, particularly about transgender people using public restrooms and the concept of feminism, were considered by many to be offensive and out of touch. Yet, she remained unapologetic, reinforcing her reputation as someone who speaks her mind, no matter the consequences. But it hasn't all been drama and controversy. Stacey has faced personal struggles, too. She's been open about the traumatic events in her past, including being molested as a child, battling addiction, and escaping abusive relationships. She's been married and divorced several times, including a high-profile marriage to British businessman James, which ended in divorce in 2010. In 2018, she tied the knot once again, this time with Jeffrey, proving that she's still holding on to hope for love despite the setbacks. On a more positive note, Stacey has also faced her demons head on. In 2021, she opened up about her battle with addiction, admitting that she had been taking up to 20 Vicodin pills a day. She's now been sober for 5 years, a major accomplishment for someone who's faced so many challenges. Throughout all the highs and lows, Stacy Dash has proven one thing: she's not someone who can be easily written off. Whether you agree with her politics or not, her resilience and her refusal to back down from controversy have made her a fascinating figure in Hollywood and beyond. Her journey is far from over, and as she plans her return to the entertainment industry in 2024, it's clear that this diva still has a lot to say. If you told us that Stacey Dash, the 90s icon behind Clueless's Dion, would be labeled today's most hated woman in America, as the Mercury News questioned back in 2017, we'd have said as if. The actor and her co-star Alicia Silverstone aren't just partially responsible for our teenage crushes on Paul Rudd. They made plaid skirt suits happen, which are still happening more than 25 years later, as echoed in Iggy Azalea's music video for Fancy. Alas, today is not 1995, and in more recent years, Dash's acting career has been swerving all over the road like a virgin who can't drive. Though her post-Clueless money moves led her to roles in TV series like The Game and Single Ladies, and even a Kanye West music video, her controversial viewpoints and outspoken nature seem to have taken the wheel, isolating her from her peers in Hollywood. These days, she's less known for acting than she is for being an ex-talking head on Fox News, dodging, arguably self-inflicted, vitriol with her peers. Laura Ingraham and Tommy Lauren, the latter has similarly been called the worst by the Dallas Observer. The beginning of the end for Stacey Dash's public reputation was her affiliation with oft-criticized right-wing talking head like Piers Morgan and Sean Hannity. In 2012, she kicked off her career as a political commentator by appearing in a single episode of Piers Morgan Live. A cameo on Hannity followed shortly thereafter, and by 2014, the star was an official Fox News contributor. Unfortunately, her newfound TV success didn't last as long as her fervent support for Donald Trump. According to reports from Us Weekly and The Hollywood Reporter, Dash was temporarily suspended from her position less than 2 years into her contract following an outburst during an episode of Outnumbered, in which she claimed that then President Barack Obama didn't give a shit about terrorism. The lightning fast producers managed to bleep out the profanity before it aired. Dash only managed to cling on for a few more months until her contract was up for renewal, and the network gave her the axe. Per HuffPost and The Hollywood Reporter, this came in the fall of 2016 after numerous controversial rants on topics like transgender rights and immigration, as well as trolling the Pulse nightclub tragedy with a Donald Trump endorsement. This didn't go unnoticed by the Twitter sphere, which was so unsympathetic, her firing basically became a national holiday. "Dear Karma, good job on Stacey Dash," wrote one user. "Do Tommy Lauren next. Sincerely, Twitter." That appeared to be the general consensus. Stacey Dash is entitled to her own opinion, which is why her 2012 endorsement of Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney only elicited some eye rolls and a few nasty Twitter comments. As the Washington Post points out, the star wasn't immune to racial backlash, but that backlash was nothing compared to what was on the horizon when she waged a war against BET, Black History Month, and Jada Pinkett Smith's Oscar boycott. In one breath, Dash ostracized herself from her Hollywood peers and Viacom CBS, the media conglomerate that supported some of her most prolific TV storylines. Think The Game and Single Ladies. If we don't want segregation, then we need to get rid of channels like BET and the BET Awards and the Image Awards, where you are only awarded if you are Black, she said during a 2016 Fox and Friends rant via the Washington Post, during which she also called for the elimination of Black History Month. Per the Washington Post, Dash's statement isn't even true, though the BET Awards were created to predominantly celebrate Black artists who were largely ignored by other networks like MTV. The show still regularly nominates artists from various ethnicities. Justin Timberlake got 4 nominations in 2013 alone. Not to mention that, in the past, Dash has worked with BET, who promptly asked for their check back and published a gallery entitled "Every Time Stacey Dash Proved She Was Clueless." Troll behavior begets troll responses.